Hey guys, it's Mrs. Knight. By now, you should have already read my big brother Johnny Craw. If you haven't yet, please go ahead and find the reading passage in your folders. It's just one page front and back. And if you need any help, you can go online to the classroom website. Underneath the reading tab, when you click on My Reading, you'll be able to find an audio file that will read it out loud to you. So, in order to do this assignment, you guys need to find the cause and effect page that's in your Moving West journals or On the Move journals. So the cause and effect should look like this right here. So cause on the left side, effect on the right. So we're going to read each of these little paragraphs. It's going to walk us through the story, My Big Brother Johnny Craw, and help us figure out how to fill in our cause and effect boxes. Now, I can't remember how many rows you guys have, but we're only going to fill out 3. So even if you have 4 rows, it's okay to leave that last one blank. And I'll show you what I mean by that in just a second. So it says, as you read a story, you may notice that events in the story are arranged to show cause and effect relationships. What is cause and effect? A cause is an event or action that makes something happen. An effect is what happens because of the event or action. Identifying the cause and effects in My Big Brother Johnny Craw can help you understand characters' actions as well as the sequence of events in the plot. So when you guys think of cause and effect, I want you to think of dominoes. When I push one domino, that is the cause. The effect is that one domino will hit another domino, and they'll continue to keep hitting each other and fall down. So that's an example of cause and effect. All right, it says, reread the passage from My Big Brother Johnny Craw and highlight examples of the cause and effect relationships. Write them in the graphic organizer. Use the Think Aloud to help you. So it says, My Big Brother Johnny Caw. If I said Johnny Craw, I apologize. We're going to read this little section and we're going to see an example of a cause and effect. And this one has to do with the title, My Big Brother. I was just a tadpole of a girl, and my family decided to leave the crowded city life behind. My daddy said there are territories out west with wide open spaces. The Caw family needs more room to grow. He was mostly talking about my big brother. At 15, Johnny had grown so tall that when he stretched out in bed at night, his head hung out of the front door and his feet hung out of the back door, all the way into the chicken coop where the hens laid eggs between his toes. Mama loaded up the wagon with our belongings, and Daddy hitched up the oxen. We began to head west, but it wasn't long until Johnny hollered for everyone to stop. We'll never get there with these slowpokes pulling us, Johnny scoffed. He unhitched the team and pulled one ox on each shoulder. So I want to look at the first cause and effect. It says there are territories out west with wide open spaces. So they needed more room to grow. And I know that's because Johnny was so big. So the effect is that they needed more room. The cause is that Johnny was very tall. So please write Johnny is very tall on the left side. Make sure you use a capital and a period at the end. The effect is that the cause decided to move west for more room. Now, once again, if you would like to put this in your own words and find your own cause and effect or reword what they had here, then that's fine too. Hit pause if you need time to write. Hit play when you're ready to move on. All right, so the next little paragraph we're looking at is this one on the bottom. I want to find a cause and effect in this section. We'll never get there with these slowpokes pulling us, Johnny scoffed. He unhitched the team and put one ox on each shoulder. So before they were riding in the wagon with the ox pulling them, but Johnny realized that he could do it even faster. So he's the one that grabbed the trailer. So Johnny thinks the oxen are moving too slowly. Johnny unhitches the oxen so he can pull the wagon instead. So once again, if you want to put this in your own words, you could say Johnny decided to pull the wagon. That could even be a good sentence right here. It doesn't have to be exactly what I have here, but just make sure that you fill in these 2 boxes with the right cause and effect. Hit pause if you need time to write. Hit play when you're ready to move on. Okay, so now we have to try and do this on our own. We're going to read this section of My Big Brother Johnny Caw, and we're just going to get one more cause and effect. If you want to try and do that on your own, that's even better. Once again, this last box we're not going to use. So just one more cause and effect. It says, He never did have much sense of direction. He pulled that wagon one way, then the other, faster and faster, digging out the biggest gully you ever saw. The next night, a big rain came and filled it up. I hear that now they call that the crooked gully. They call that crooked gully the Kaw River. So I need to go back and figure out what even happened in the story. That's kind of my effect. I'll think backwards. So I know that he didn't know which way he was going. He kept digging. He created a gully, and now it's a river. So the effect is that Johnny created a river. So I'm going to think backwards. I'm going to type on the effect box right now. Make sure you're in the right one with me here. So I know that Johnny accidentally created a gully or river when he was, we'll say, pulling the wagon in different directions. So once again, if you don't like how I put that sentence, you can put it in your own words. So I'm going to think backwards. I want to think what caused this. So I actually noticed that I made this a little too long and got ahead of myself. So I'm sorry, we're going to go backward just a little bit. Johnny accidentally created a gully or river. We're going to take this part out. It says when he was pulling the wagon. That's what caused it. So Johnny was pulling the wagon in different directions. Okay, guys, that looks much better. So because Johnny was pulling the wagon in different directions, he accidentally created a gully or a river. So please go ahead and fill in these boxes. Make sure you have all 3 rows complete. I don't know if you have a 4th row on your paper, but if you do, just leave it blank. Or if you really feel like going above and beyond, you can do another cause and effect. That's it for now. Thanks, guys.